The fish was this big. The fish was this big. Splish splash, I'm taking a bath.
Hello, everybody.
I'm not animated. Oh, I could animate him real quick.
Oh, a live upping of the budget for our show. How interesting. Wonderful. Oh my god, that is a huge increase of the budget from 16 cents.
I don't smoke. No, the bigger effect is just expensive. Yeah. That's a bay. I just spent 30. I just spent 300 on food shopping for 3 weeks. So. I don't remember what's. Oh shit, he's huge. Okay. No, I'm looking at the size of what he was. And I gotta save it though. You can overlay it twice. No, I made the secondary frame just real quick, like. Magic.
Oh.
So, your voice is not active on the stream. It's just me. So there's just a goose angrily flopping its arm, and then I speak.
Yeah, they can only hear you and me.
God, my voice is so much higher in my head.
Technical difficulties.
There we are. Yeah, no, it switched off my regular source.
V8 was never going to say anything.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I'm glad I said nothing of substance. Nothing at all of substance. Just weird little smarmy comments about grocery shopping.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling? In this current.
Very bleh. Just bleh.
Heavy workload?
The workload's thinning out, so I feel like I have less to do. But the days are still busy. So.
I figure. I mean, you do have a lot more responsibilities than me. I will fully admit. Just at the end of the day, because I really don't have to take care of myself on the personal day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I have to take care of 6 other beings.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, I guess I have my cats, but they don't. They kind of take care of themselves too. As long as there's food in their bowl.
Self-sufficient.
Okay, so a -1 because the other one doesn't have to be taken care of at all, apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
But does she like to be taken care of?
Oh, does she like to be taken care of? No, apparently not.
I mean, I do, but I'm just saying you don't have to.
Yeah, so apparently, I don't know.
How the question is phrased, it's fine. You contribute to my life status.
Yeah.
I'm going to be bitten in the middle of this, I'm probably fairly sure.
What, are the noodles on the ground?
No, I wish it were the noodles. Don't.
Standing here.
I don't like the silent suspense either.
The awkward silence is part of the brand. Don't worry about it. I do have like a somewhat serious question to ask. Did that weird haughty statement I made when we first met ring true?
You're gonna have to remind me because that was 7 months ago.
Yeah, did we boost you a tax bracket?
No, I did not. Luckily.
Did we get close?
Yeah, only about 1,400 off, oddly enough.
Wow. Which means you're at the top of your bracket, which is not a bad place to be.
Just right before the bottom of another one, which is the worst place to be.
Yeah. I mean, I sit in the middle of mine, so I'm at least secure in that fact. I never owe anything at the end of the year.
Ow! Fudgy fun. Damn it.
You get bit.
Ow. I got bit. Ow. And it's one of those deep, resonating pains.
I'm aware of these pains.
It seems like you can't explain it to other people. It's like, yeah, it hurt in the moment,
like
but
if
then
somebody
it just keeps throbbing.
It's about like if somebody hit you with a sawzall while it was running.
That's a horrific visual.
A visual I've lived through. Have we not established previously that I am resistant to most forms of damage? Just not psychological?
I suppose. It looks like I'm petting the little guy on the couch with the back of my hand.
Yeah. That's why I put him there.
You're petting Sarge.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Sarge?
Yeah, that was what we initially used for Sarge.
It fits.
Yeah, it's just a little guardsman reading a book.
One of your audience members is encouraging more happenings like that.
I'm sure it's Den's. I know it is.
It is. It is.
I think that he might be a bad influence on whoever bit you.
Oh, 1,000%. They're bad influences on each other. You should see the amount of cake he now owns.
Jesus.
You just missed the most epic
I thought he was supposed to be my male wife.
I just...
He can be your male wife.
So
That's not even funny.
I know, but like I got praised for it. So
You know, I'm about to flex on you hard.
I'm gonna clip that later.
I could, I could probably, no, I know for a fact I could take out a blizzard cake from DQ in an hour. I'm gonna flex on you real hard. Anyway, we should probably actually start talking about a subject that's more than just
Yeah, sure.
weird little banter.
Art.
did you see
Art
that
do.
one a little bit?
Art do.
It
Yes.
did. You're in my peripheral.
Kevin, is there any particular piece that you are particularly proud of that you'd be willing to share so I can throw it up?
Yeah, I finished this one in about 3 hours.
Is that supposed to be Lassiter?
That is,
POV
yes.
Lassiter on the battlefields of World War III. He misses true Dom life.
This one I did in 15 minutes. It is now currently my most popular piece for some reason.
Let me get my file finder up real quick so I can actually throw these up. There we are.
And then, here, you've had Magnum on. Here's...
I have not had
Magnum.
Magnum on. I've been neglecting artists severely.
Well, you are a black bagger of writers, so...
What do you mean blackbagger? It's not like I sought out to do this. It's just what happened.
Just a calling.
I don't know if you'd say it's a calling, but I do feel this is something that God says I can do, so I'm gonna do it.
I was divinely ordained.
To talk to scaly writers on the internet. Not even for clout.
Just to have a
Just to have a genuine conversation with people.
Yeah. Whoa. I just made my Swiffer stand up. That was cool.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, that's just like the real thing of it all. Like I'm not like I'm gonna steal your secrets. It's just like it's nice to have a genuine conversation with people. Like if you've consumed something they've made or whatever, it's nice to know how they think outside of that too. Outside of that media. I think that's really interesting. I mean, lately it's become more and more of that where this is not a panel show about snoot writers and artists. This is just a panel show that features a lot of snoot writers and artists.
No, I figured that as much.
Like it's not really about that anymore.
I was going to share more than just the snoot-related stuff, although that is mostly what I've been drawing that I can share. I've been drawing a lot of other stuff, but it's all NDA at the moment. I don't want Keemstar getting angry at some small
Arnie
channel.
or
The Arnie thing is being held off at the moment.
Really?
Apparently for next year.
I'll show you what I got at Target.
man, my dad's gonna be so disappointed.
Well, I mean, you can still show him the work.
Yeah, I'll show him the work. I was just wanting to give him like the physical card.
Well, I mean, you'll still be around for next year. Unless there's another weightlifting tournament I'm unfamiliar with.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's weightlifting tournaments all the time, but of that scale or whatever, in partnership with the card making company, I don't know.
Well, they have multiple different
Like divisions?
creators that do advertising, including cards. Like, there's a bunch of cards for previous events.
Yeah.
Although right now, I mean, if you're able to, you can go check out the locale TCG front page. They have done a collab with the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, and I did those cards.
You did Joe Exotic cards? What the?
And Keem and Boogie were going to go interview him in person, but when they arrived, the entire prison went on lockdown, so they could not get it.
I must have misheard how that is. Low County CG? Oh.
No, LOLCOW. LOLCOWTCG.
I guess it just means that they have to... hell yeah! I mean, I can definitely tell it's you who drew that. That's a compliment, by the way. I don't mean to come off as rude or anything. It's just you have a very distinct style that I really like.
And yeah, you can bring it up on screen considering the cards have already been released. There's the White Tiger variant, the Siegfried and Roy special, and then the regular.
Yeah, let me pull this up. It's kind of in here. Let me scroll up. Tiger King was so funny on Netflix when it came out. I remember...
Yeah. We're supposed to sign cards together, so that's what we're waiting on.
Is Joe Exotic?
Yep. So if you click on Buy Now, it'll bring up the window showing the cards in better detail.
And there's just like booster pack.
Yep, you can buy them with a chance to get some of the super rare variants.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been a big card collector in a while, but I might try. I might do this kind of soft gambling that is TCG again.
My cards have been worth a shit ton for some reason. One card I did for a different creator has been selling consistently for $80.
Well, that should be a feather in your cap, I think.
Yeah, in fact, do you want to see something that is going to be sent out as a joke promo with some of these cards?
Sure.
So the packs come with 2 cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have to put this in on the screen just in case. But there is a small chance you'll get one of these instead.
I'm trying to figure out who that's supposed to be out of the group. I imagine somebody who showed up in Tiger. Oh, it's Boogie.
Now, here's the thing. Boogie is not that big anymore. He's definitely gotten smaller. But this is...
That's what made him famous.
Yeah, no. This is literally his Francis body type. That's what I used for this. Hold on.
I also like how you made the tiger obese.
You're the 4th person to say that.
I don't know if you've really put a lot of thought into whether or not to make the tiger obese, but I do appreciate that level of detail.
Yeah, no, I had to, because that's funnier, instead of him crushing the poor animal.
I'd hazard to say he's still crushing the poor animal. Francis.
Yep.
I don't know, since that's not on the website or anything. I don't know if I'd be allowed to share it.
No, you're not. That's why I said.
So I'm not gonna throw that up there.
You can put the picture of Francis.
Oh yeah, no, I can probably throw Francis up there and say it's him riding a tiger. It's this guy riding a tiger. Which that popped up on screen for seconds, but I think we're in the clear.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very small, but it popped up. Well, then he made them bigger.
Yeah.
The stream delay. Well, other than the specific works, I've been working on more animations. So there's some details I put. I mean, there's some examples I put in the chat.
The regular, like, non-GIF videos don't like to behave very well.
That was already on the Buru. If you don't have to pull it up, but it is already there.
The Vev one will probably work fine. We can make that small. Off to the side. Very nice fluid movement. Actually remembering the sway of the tail.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You gotta. It goes back and forth.
Well, I mean, I've seen plenty where like they don't accommodate for any sway in the tail of the Saurian women. Dog, them things be bobbling all over the place, especially when they walk. Tails are very important for locomotion to the animals that have them externalized. Humans have tails. We use them. I mean, it's just muscle attachment for our legs, but we do have tails.
Yeah, I'm sure if we extended our coccyx to have a full prehensile tail, even if it wasn't prehensile, we just only use it for balance. Don't you? You will get bopped again.
I only imagine what's happening. Yeah, no, it's
Getting bitten again, or at least threatened to.
Tetrapods all have tails, which is
What species is it? Or
I
what
said
family?
tetrapods. That is the family. All land vertebrates are tetrapods today.
Ah,
Because the other groups that had more limbs than 4 plus tail died off. There were like a few vertebrate lineages that had like 6 limbs, which is pretty interesting.
such as.
I can't remember the exact species names, but I could probably look up 6-limbed vertebrate.
I don't think. The first thing that comes to my mind is Goro, so I know it's not that.
Oh, I guess the only thing that made it out was tetrapods. But there are like... They're the only things that made it on land.
I see.
Yeah, oh, alright, so like a coelacanth has extra limbs, technically, with its lobed fins, I guess, is what I've gathered. So there are, I guess, vertebrates that have more than 4 limbs. Fascinating. A tetrapod is literally just like, how many feet does it have?
Yeah, because well, it's not monopod, but the pod is what we call the snails, which
Feet.
are just 1 foot. Yeah, 1
Gastropod?
foot.
Stomach foot?
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of mollusks have pod in their name, which is shelled invertebrates that have like a squishy inside. I would not count crab armor as a shell, but that's the easiest word to say it is. Ah, Stella Grink. I have this in my stickers. I put this in my stickers. Didn't Dins ask for that?
I don't remember who asked for that, but I do see it pop up in other servers every once in a while.
It's a
In fact,
very funny image.
I don't know if I ever shared this, but I found an edit of this on Reddit.
Of the art you did, I think I know what direction they took it.
Yeah, they turned into a cam girl.
Yeah, that's Reddit.
Let's see if I can find it.
That's Reddit for you.
No.
I'm just using clever placement of objects to change the narrative to my liking.
Trying to remember how they spelled it because my name goes a few different ways.
That's a good question. I don't even know if I did it right. Did I? If I didn't, I'll change it after. Definitely. I
Yeah, what'd you
swear I
do?
won't forget. I don't know if I spelled it right. I
Oh no, you
definitely won't
did.
forget. I definitely won't forget to fix something. Me forget things? Nah. Me be hard on people? Yes, because I'm evil.
Oh, let's see here. I'm still just scrolling, so if you have anything to talk about while I
Yeah.
look.
Are you aware of the phenomena of people just saying that Snoot changed their life?
Oh yeah,
Has it
plenty.
affected yours?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been able to afford food, and it's a community that I can actually socialize in.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these people are even coming to my wedding, so
Yeah.
definitely has affected me
A
in
strange
certain ways,
reach. A
right?
very strange reach. Damn.
And now 4chan's dead, so
I don't think it's dead forever because either
whatever
they're gonna
comes
make a
back
new
won't be
website or they're
4chan.
just gonna migrate to Twitter.
No, they're diametrically opposed.
They will
But
migrate to the closest thing.
yeah, I don't. If it comes back, it won't be 4chan. It'll be something new. But
That's such it. That's not something I ever expected would happen. Is that 4chan just dies? That wasn't on my bingo card for the year.
yeah, it's fair.
Like I never really interacted with it, but like it's like oh this is just gonna be here forever, and I'll just see like the occasional seepage, and that'll be that. I'll see some green text. Which is really funny because the last thing ever posted was the chicken jockey meme.
Was that the last one?
That was one of the last ones. Was just Jack Black saying chicken jockey.
That's the way to go out, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, the chicken jockey is less dangerous than a regular baby zombie.
It's more mobile.
It's less mobile than just a regular baby zombie, because for whatever reason they
Chickens are
decided to
slow.
make the zombie chick like the zombie baby super fast.
Yeah,
I think it has the same like
uh,
block movement speed as an adult zombie. It's just a smaller hitbox.
it definitely seems like it moves faster. Because when they're getting attacked in the caves, it feels like it.
Makes so they can't just block off face level to avoid attacks. Make sure it bites your shins. Uh, And I think that was probably the intention of adding the baby zombies into the game. Was just so that you couldn't place one block and be safe. You had to actually fully enshroud yourself.
Oh yeah, because they can climb through one block gaps.
Yeah. It all circles back to Minecraft always.
Every time.
I've hit the yearly 2-week Minecraft addiction. I don't know. I don't know if it's because of outside factors happening in life, but god damn it, Minecraft has been hitting so hard lately.
I've noticed it's that or Elden Ring, which I really should finish.
I've never completed it. I barely started it. I have the game. I've booted it up like twice. I got it on sale. Thank God for Steam sales. Because some of these prices that games come out with is just outright just disrespectful. Straight up disrespectful.
In what way?
$70, $80, $90 per game, and people just say it's inflation.
It isn't.
To an extent, it can be.
I'm not against games going up in price.
It's just so drastic. $80 for a game is too much. $80 for Mario Kart is way too damn much.
Well, think of how long the lifespan of Mario Kart 7 was, or 8. The last one lasted for like years.
12 years.
And the online capabilities. You could get $80 worth of content out of that, and now everything getting additional updates and whatnot. Also, if you're gonna have a gripe about money and prices for games, Nintendo is probably the last one to do it with, because they've always been cheaper for completed games. Nintendo doesn't release half-ass games. If you're gonna buy a Nintendo, they're pretty much done. There might be some hiccups here and there, but they're not like.
But now their games are
Cyberpunk.
$10 over Xbox and PlayStation for right now, which I guess one of them had to like test the water to see how much people would pay, and of course people will buy it.
I haven't been keeping up with Xbox, but PlayStation, it always goes up between $10 and $15 per generation, and
Xbox
when games were 60, they were 60 for the PS3, 70 for the PS4. $79 for a new PS5 game, that's just what people have come to expect. Now, if you buy it digitally, it's cheaper because it costs less because it doesn't have to be physical. I'm always going to go for physical if I can. I'd rather own my media, but now the disc doesn't even mean anything. It's just like a key to get in.
Scam, I think.
Yeah, so that's where the PC Master Race still comes in. However, here's the thing. Nintendo having expensive games has always existed. Did you know how much Super Mario 64? Yeah, how much it was in 93?
Wasn't it like $30 or $40?
No, 70. It was 60 to 70.
Adjusted for inflation,
adjusted for inflation is $120.
Jesus.
So, and here's the thing. When GTA 6 comes out, whenever that may be, hands down, without a shadow of doubt in my mind, the base edition will be $100. Do you think people are going to complain? Of
hell
course.
Yeah, they're going to complain. That's what people do.
Do you think people are going to not buy it? Hell no.
It will sway some people not to buy it until it goes on sale, but they will buy it eventually.
No, there might be people who can't buy it, but it's not going to stop anybody from buying it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been such a titillating title for so long. How old is GTA 5? What, it came out 2013, I think?
I would say 2013. Yep.
Another 12-year-old game. Skyrim's 13. And I bought it for a few.
Skyrim came out in 2011.
Oh, so it's 14.
Yep.
There's several Minecraft YouTubers that would not touch that anymore.
And hey, we're getting a not technically a new Elder Scrolls, but we're getting a remaster.
Of Oblivion.
Yep. So that is something I'm looking forward to quite a bit, actually.
This might make me try Oblivion.
Now, if the Skywind project finishes and we get Morrowind in UE5, people need to realize how good of a game that was, and just how much stuff we lose every time they come out with a new Elder Scrolls. 3 to 4 was big simplification. 4 to 5 was even bigger.
Didn't
Like,
Oblivion
magic.
have some of the most like advanced NPC intelligence ever? Like the
No,
crackheads
not
would kill people for food and drugs. They killed
they
the dealer
did
really
ha-
fast.
they did have certain knowledge bases and conditions that were pretty cool. Like they'll try to pick up weapons on the ground. They'll pick up a better weapon if it's more suited to them. But as far as intelligent,
They were
they were
Bethesda
decent.
NPCs.
No, they're better than most NPCs, but that's because every character had a specific schedule and intelligence written into them. There wasn't too many NPCs in Oblivion. That might have been limited due to either hardware or the fact that there were only 4 voice actors for almost every character in the game.
A tradition kept alive by Bethesda.
My favorite thing about it is hold on, who voiced him? Because I want to get this wrong.
I love Patrick Stewart as the Emperor.
That's yes, Patrick Stewart. Okay, so the story is Patrick Stewart was told he was going to play Uriel Septim, and he was given all of the lore. And if you know the lore behind the Septims, that's a lot.
Yes.
And he comes in and does his recording and finds out that he's only reading 2 pages worth of lines because he dies in the first 15 minutes. Sorry, spoilers for a fucking
Nearly
20-year-old
20-year-old game.
Yeah, but he dies almost immediately and doesn't have another voice line throughout the entire game, not even a memory or anything. And he was pissed. But I'm pretty sure it was a good payday. He might have made more than Sean Bean.
Didn't Sean Bean voice literally everyone else?
Nope, he only voiced Martin.
I don't have an
I don't think he-
encyclopedic knowledge of Oblivion NPCs.
There is a group online called Nerd Posting, which you can get on. I think it's through Facebook. And the main male voice actor, hangs out there, and he'll chat all the time. He has fun.
I mean, yeah, I assume so. I imagine it's the same guy as default Nord voice from Skyrim. I assume he also hangs out.
I can't say for sure. But
Who did that?
guard 1, stop in the name of the law, or you violated the law. You're coming with me. Stop right there, criminal scum. That's what it was.
You violated the law. Pay the
You
court a
violated my
fine
law.
or serve your sentence. Any stolen goods on your person are now forfeit. And then you say
Hasn't
some
played
shit
a-
about being the Thane of
Hasn't
Whiterun,
played
and he's
Oblivion.
like, "Oh dear God!" Yeah,
Definitely worth playing, and the pricing of that is going to be a concern.
What do you say?
in the case of an Oblivion remake, yeah, I can see that price probably affecting people buying it more than GTA 5 or GTA 6.
GTA 6 is going to outsell the Oblivion remaster.
Oh, almost definitely. That's just what Rockstar games do. What is it? It's
Yeah.
like the King Neptune versus SpongeBob debate. Bethesda produces a lot more games on a technicality, but Rockstar puts a lot more effort into every single game.
To be honest, I'd be more interested in seeing another entry to any other franchise that Rockstar owns than GTA.
Like Red Dead Redemption, where you get to play as Hosea or Dutch in the Civil War.
So if they're gonna do Red Dead 3 or Red Dead Origins, which I keep seeing that from people, uh, I'm kind of fine not knowing. Like, I'm fine them ending it right there and it just being the duology. Or you go back into the future and you play as Jack, and he's dealing with the industrialization of the early 1900s, which you could end it with, World War One. He's 40.
Well, all right. So GTA or not? Fuck, I'm stupid. Red Dead Redemption 2, I think, takes place in 1899, doesn't it?
Yep, and then RDR one takes place in 1911.
And he's like 20, I think, or 19 at that point.
Jack was born in 1984, 1894.
God damn. They made that kid seem older than he was.
Nah, he seems like a typical 5-year-old.
I guess me and my family didn't make typical 5-year-olds.
Probably not, from what I've heard.
Wild. I used to be like, I just remember being an abnormally small child with large feet. And now I'm just a very large man in general.
I'm fine being as small as I am.
It means you can fit in the crevices when you go cave diving.
I would never enter a cave.
I might. Actually, I plan on doing it.
Why?
I want to, I want to try a little bit of everything at least once.
Well, stream it if you can.
I don't think the connection will work out down there. I could record sections of it, but seeing as like this is like a tentative plan with Farian, and he doesn't really like being recorded. So I guess I could just hand him the camera and call that a day there. Fortnite characters that were originally somewhere else.
A bit of an outfit swap.
The rippling muscles of the Thriller Lizard. I have no clue what the characters are called. Well, I know one's Meow Skull, but I don't know what the lizard's called.
Thunder.
Gives me Michael Jackson vibes.
Yeah, I think that might have been somewhat of an inspiration.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that sees that. But does this mean that in the late 90s and early 2000s he becomes a furry?
Have you seen the Thriller music video?
I was talking about the lizard and trying to refer it to the actual life history.
I think he's one where he's a werewolf.
I'm sure there is. He just kind of did things, and I can really appreciate that about Michael Jackson. He just did things.
He had the money. He had the money and the discipline.
But other people given the money probably wouldn't have just done things for their own amusement like he did.
Did you see that Kingdom Hearts might be in jeopardy because Haley Joel Osment got caught with illicit substances and public intoxication?
I did not. I've never really followed Kingdom Hearts at all.
Hopefully Disney goes easy on him.
I mean, how much money was made for Disney by Kingdom Hearts?
Can't really say. Can't be too high, considering they don't release games as often as they used to.
Well,
Even
We're
their
hitting-
merch sales.
we're hitting another one of those Disney recession periods where Disney's not making as much money off their movies, so they have to diversify. Happened in the 90s. Happened
That
in
newest,
the 60s. Happened in
what's
the
that newest?
2000s.
What's that newest Pixar movie that's supposed to be coming out? The baseball one.
Mm. I don't get ads on YouTube, so I have not been getting ads for anything. I have been uneducated for so long as to what's going on in the world, and I live in just bliss for it, I think.
I don't know if that's a direction I even want to aim for during this.
Oh,
Because
just my ignorance of the world around me.
no, just being hyper aware of like changes, which all stem from politics. So
Politics ain't real.
please tell that to everyone else.
They don't matter. You make the improvement in your own community the best you can, and eventually it'll scale up. If everybody does it, everybody pitches in, it'll get better.
That just sounds like a revolution with flower and language.
I did not say to kill anybody. Yet.
Neither did I. Although,
I mean, we're built on revolution, so it'd really just be a return to form.
I wish. Uh, if they started sending, some of these homegrown people across borders, then yeah, I'd definitely advocate for it.
Eh. There's a sticky topic.
So Sierra, what are you doing?
Well, I just
Sitting on the
got back
couch.
from dinner. I just got back from dinner, so I'm just chilling. Bing, chilling.
Ooh, ice cream, huh?
You caught me. Well, I caught you. This is after a work day for me, right? So I'm also pretty just chilled out, hanging out, real flowy vibe. And I'm sure you did something similar.
Kind of aimless. I'm not entirely sure.
These can ramble for a little bit.
You can throw questions at me because I don't know how to talk about myself.
You know, that there's a talent is talking about yourself that most nobody possesses in the correct way. Not without coming off as like a douchebag.
Well, I mean, there's self. Talking about self and then egotism, which, I mean, not even close to each other, really.
They're on the same side of their respective compass. Just opposite corners. They're on one scale of the alignment chart.
Yeah, my back itches.
So does mine.
It's always a little square you can't reach.
Yeah, especially me, since I can't pull my arm all the way back due to missing a muscle.
I have heard this story.
My gain's too strong. Man. And you know, where that is missing is always where it hurts randomly or itches. Without fail.
It's because it makes you think about it.
Yeah, and it's getting worse now, thanks.
I just said mine. It's just so.
Yeah. Man, imagine having phantom pain over like 6 square inches. Absolutely wild. 6 square inches of tissue that destroyed itself. Not even cut out, just kind of atrophied, shrunk into nothing. I don't think there was any hope ever of that growing back.
Probably not without a replacement or something to stimulate it.
I can live like a mostly normal life without it. In some ways, it makes me more flexible on that arm because I can make it go forward more. And that's an interesting thing. That I have slightly better reach with my left arm because of it. Forward reach, I should say, not upper reach.
My arms are about equal, but I can hyperflex my right leg much more than my left.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Like, I can touch my face with one leg, but I can't even touch my chest with the other.
Well, isn't your face further out than your chest? Like your chin's further out forward?
Yeah, so I'm saying I can't reach with one, but I can the other.
I can, well, I used to be able to do some weird acts of flexibility. I used to be able to kick above my head when I was in high school. I actually, like, did karate. It's been a while. And that's one of those things where you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah. Flexibility. I've grown more rigid working construction.
Need to go bowling more.
I do. I really need to go bowling more. You saw how pathetic my score was.
It was impressively low.
Absolute dog shit. Unequivocally.
I mean, the average for someone who's never even played the game is about 80. So to get a fourth or almost half that is impressive.
I wasn't really focused on the bowling. I was just kind of talking, bullshitting. Which, I mean, that bullshitting is half my job, you know? If you can't, like, build chemistry with people, you're not gonna make it in, long term for construction.
And I didn't know that was an aspect of it.
Yeah, no, that's real. It's not something like they sit down and tell you. But if you are incapable of just, like, bullshitting with the fellas, you're not gonna make it. Because they see you as standoffish and not, like, approachable.
Undercover ICE agent.
Oh, Griffin Reed? Is that still secret for the thing?
That's not. You can share that.
I know another one that we're not supposed to share it in places. Isn't this for a one-off bit that everybody has one of these?
Yep. And I spent a lot of effort animating these.
Man. That is the most complete... You know, just make it a pony game. That section's like... The animations of the walking cycle's already complete for that. It's like pulling teeth to get people to work on anything on their off time. Trust me, I know.
Well, I mean, that's mostly my fault currently, because I'm the project lead, but I haven't had any time to sit and actually focus on it. And it hinges on me starting, so...
Yeah. Which you also keep yourself very busy. I need to get to work on that project too. I have things that I've been assigned to do by Sarge, and I just haven't finished. I'm doing a little bit of environmental design, which it's all scuffed, but I think it'll fit quite well. Scuffed in an endearing way.
Well, when you can get that done, that will be helpful.
I have, like, most of the general store done for drawing and whatnot. It's where Joe's character hangs out. I think he runs the general store is his role. And I ran it by him, and he's like, "This is funny. Send it," because I did my first little pass. This is kind of what your shop counter looks like. This is what your shelves look like. Yeah, they look kind of like weird oblong rocket ships or poorly drawn rocket ships, but that, you know what? We'll roll it. my goal whenever somebody asks me to do something for that is to do something that just totes the line between intentionally bad and overdone. Like, I mean, like DeviantArt levels of overdone.
I was going to say, that seems like a wild chasm between those two.
Yeah, I'm a very talented tightrope walker when it comes to this, I guess. Have you seen that picture of Will getting shot between the legs?
No, you have to share that.
I'd have to find it. Actually, no, it's in that server. It's in that server in one of the art channels. Just as like a concept that could be used. Art assets.
Dumbass.
I can't see behind me.
Hey, please stop it out. I can't.
I have a lot of messages in mine about things. I'm trying to find it.
Alright.
Threads? No. Is there a thread here? No. Wild. Absolutely crazy that I can't just pull that out of nowhere. And now I have to go into my screenshots folder. And who knows where that could be in there. How long ago was it? Alright, well this is not the complete picture, but this is... if I can go back into this channel here, I can show you. This is specifically Will. Just ridiculous, stupid violence. Gratuitous even.
I do remember that, yes.
His face looks like he has some sort of disease in it.
But there is a VM?
It's a face described by Denz as one of pure pain.
Did you have a reference for it, or is that just out of your head?
That's just kind of what came out. I was like, I heard about the E1, and it's like, oh yeah, you just find Havoc and Will dead on a street corner. I'm like, I'm drawing that. I'm gonna try to draw that.
The pure pain lives within you.
I don't know. Have you like heard any details about my life? Of course, pure pain lives within me. This is the outlet is stupid things. You ride with the absurdity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm built by random trauma as well.
That's kind of the human condition, isn't it, really? Is just random trauma, and you have to decide whether or not you're going to rise or fall, and by what method you're going to use. And I happen to use absurdism to fill my balloons with helium. To turn myself into a helium balloon. Because I've sucked down too much of it because it tasted good.
I just joke at very inappropriate times.
I mean, yeah, that's a tendency I have, but... absurdism, I think, has probably saved my life at some point.
I'm all done. I'm all done. Give me my fingers back. Let go. Thank you, Cooper Butt.
Absurdism is so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, it's interesting art style too.
I don't think there's any style in it.
Being stared at right now.
I don't think if you call that a style, I don't think it's very appealing to the standard audience.
Everybody has a flavor that they like.
I'm not Kevin.
No. You can't just be saying things around her like that.
Like what? That my art style is just unappealing?
No, not that. And that's not even true. It's how toddlers are mimics of certain things.
You
You
drew
can't be
some...
saying you can't say things around them because they'll copy it.
What was that I said?
Oh, she didn't repeat what you said. She repeated what someone else said.
Ah.
You want to say?
No.
She ran away.
Look, you have her
Children
attention for
love
2 seconds at a
obscenities.
time. Gotta be fast.
Oh yeah, no, she
It's
does.
their favorite language is obscenities.
F and L is her favorite thing.
And
Hey, you say
I'm
hi?
not familiar with that make and model. I prefer the FAL over that, I think.
Hi. 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 It's hi time. Hi. Okay, Dorothy. That's good. Exactly.
Howdy. Man. Siri, you got it. I'm sure you have questions.
I'm the noob.
Me? I really don't.
Sierra.
Oh, well.
I guess. Do you want to go into your work with Locale Live and their TRG or
That's a noob.
their card game?
Yeah, if I can do that. Well, it's a. I'm not sure where the story begins. I got brought into a random server that I was just trying to draw art for. Turns out the guy lived super close to me, so we hung out a few times. That he said, well, you've been drawing for the server, I can introduce you to the locale guys. And it turns out he was trying to get a card made for himself. That backfired spectacularly.
In what way? Did they just
Over.
make fun of him? Or?
He started making insane claims about himself in a fit of anger during a game of Uno.
Is that something that got immortalized?
Yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
he became a pariah and got banned. So and then disappeared off the internet completely. But
Who's reaching that hard over a game of Uno?
who rages hard enough to admit to crimes?
I've never committed any crime ever.
Not during Uno. I mean, assault is the most common thing to do for Uno.
I don't get mad at card games.
I mean, it's best not to. It depends on who you're playing against. Uno it's a testing game.
It's a divorce game.
She might be competitive, but I don't think she's leaving me over Uno. No matter how many +4s I hit her
There
with.
have been stories I've seen and I've witnessed even with my own family where people split their families over stupid ass games. And I just sit there like, this is supposed to be a leisure activity. Why are you taking it so seriously?
I can't think of a contentious game that we had growing up. Because we didn't have very much in the way of family activities.
I've gotten some bullshit arguments over Monopoly.
We were fairly peaceful for Monopoly. I do remember playing Rock Band when it first came out. That was
Experience?
an experience.
A guiding moment?
Yeah, I could say that. You know, trying to get parents to understand how the game works and then just freaking out because it was too hard.
I remember just that experience with the Guitar Hero for Wii. My family loved Guitar Hero for Wii.
Fun fact about that: the SGs and the Kramers for the Wii version, which it's 20 years old this year. Those are still selling for hundreds of dollars.
The controllers?
The guitar peripherals, yes.
I have that
And
still.
if you still have it, it not only is it worth a lot, but you can convert it with a funky custom kit. You just type in funky customs. Etsy should come up, and it's a $70 conversion kit to make it work with anything. So even if you don't have the dongle or any of the stuff, you can just make the guitar work as a controller.
I also have like
So-
the old 360s ones. I feel
So
like that'll be
Fortnite-
easier.
Fortnite Festival now has full support for custom controller, which is really good. And then you have Rock Band 4 is still out. You have Yarg and Clone Hero. I'm fairly in tune with the rhythm scene, but the 5-fret scene.
Isn't that the only system that America has any dominance in? And everything else is dominated by Japan and Korea?
Yeah, when it comes to rhythm games, that is purely an Asian-dominated genre. But when it's guitars, it's mostly us.
I mean, yeah, I can understand why. Because what's more American than rock music? Except for all the rock musicians that come from everywhere else.
I was just going to say,
Literally, we made rock and roll.
I'd
Yeah,
say the
and-
Scandinavians perfected it.
That's black metal, man. That's not the same as some elitist
Oh,
will say.
Metal in general, but yeah, no, I'm definitely one of those metal differentiators. How do you feel about bands like Sleep Token?
It's something. I don't know. I don't. I'm not really in the metal scene.
I wouldn't even call them metal.
I came out of the woods like a folktale, singing my little cowboy songs. I met Paul Bunyan.
Oh yeah, what was he doing?
Chopping wood.
I figured. Did he have? What was the name of the ox?
I would think it was Bo. Or it's either Bo or Babe, and it's blue.
Yeah,
And
the big
I
blue
think
ox.
it's a normal ox.
What's the name? I thought it was giant.
All right, so Paul Bunyan, that piece of myth is based off a real person, and he
Yes,
was
he's a
abnormally
giant.
tall. He wasn't the size of any like large tree or anything, but he was abnormally tall. Well, I think 7'6", which was truly giant in that time.
Especially if he was in proportion, because that's insane.
Yeah,
He was just a big French Canadian. A really big French Canadian.
Yeah, girthy stock then.
yeah. I assume he was built somewhat like I am. Because I am built just to take abuse. You've seen my form. You've seen my
You were going to
build.
say you're built different, but you know you can say that.
I think I have irrefutable proof that you've seen that I'm built different.
What's funny is you have. This is not political, but it's in the realm. You have proportions closer to what our president said he has than what he has. If you didn't see,
I'm just a corn-fed
Is-
motherfucker. That's all I can say.
his physical was released last week, saying that he's 6'2", 220 pounds, with a perfect resting heart rate.
I'm 6'3", at 300 pounds, with a wildly erratic heart rate.
Near leader is closer to 5'10", and closer to 275, maybe 3. It's just a funny lie with numbers.
I don't think that's necessarily political to bring up, the stats of a living person in the country, especially one so publicized all the time.
I want to agree with you.
Well, you're
But-
not taking a stance on anything, so how is it political? You're just saying that he's shorter than he said he was. That's not like a hard-leaning stance. He's not a massive person.
Yeah.
He's an
No.
old man.
Yeah, he is. And I wish
He's as
people
old as the
would-
other one was when he went in.
Yep. I think he's 78 this year.
Yeah, he's as old as the other one was when he went in. I think. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it'll be hard voting for him in 2032. That's a joke.
Yeah, no, listen. I know it's cringe to be that guy who's like, I'm abstaining, but I abstained. We need some younger, more in-touch blood in our federal government.
I mean, 50 wasn't bad.
The fact that you say 50 wasn't bad illustrates our problem of how old the average age of Congress is, I think, over 70.
Yeah.
75 is the life expectancy.
So I was specifically talking between the two that we had the option of. But you can't even run until you're 35. So which, I mean, that's a decent age, I suppose. Anyone younger wouldn't be trusted. But yeah, a hard cutoff at like retirement, 65, sounds good to me.
I think that's one of those issues that most people agree on, is that there should be a cutoff age.
Chuck Grassley is 91 this year.
Yeah, he saw the bombs drop on Hiroshima. He probably participated. Get him out of there. If you saw the only nukes used in combat, you probably shouldn't still be leading the country.
Yeah, if you saw Operation Crossroads, you should not be in office anymore.
If you condoned what the CIA has been doing for the past 50 years, you probably also shouldn't be in office. I don't see a red dot yet. I think I'm fine.
Yeah, I was checking around too. What's funny is having these opinions in public can get you blackbagged. You gotta be careful. So.
These are the opinions that everybody else has in my trade.
Oh yeah, no, it's a very vocal minority that's making it bad for the rest of us.
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna be like, they did this, this, and this, but I know they've been doing sketchy shit because they have released documents on some of what they've done. So imagine what they're still hiding.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
You know, I
Just to be
really
terrified all
don't.
over.
I just know that it has to be awful.
Turns out they're hiding all the good shit they do.
Why would they do that?
Yo, what?
Why would they hide the good shit they do?
I'm talking about that would be the irony of it.
Yeah. No, there's a huge PR problem.
Okay, I guess my phone is listening to me.
Yeah, they do that.
Because it just gave me breaking news: Luigi Mangione indicted on death penalty.
So they've made an exception to give him the death penalty in New York.
And he isn't even the person that did it. He's the fall guy.
Yes, but we're glazing over the fact that the death penalty has not been allowed in New York State in like 30 years.
But he damaged a
cabal.
a POW,
A prisoner of
do that.
war?
a person of wealth. They want to be their own protected class,
Well, are they not?
even more than they are.
Everybody wants to be a protected class. They crave safety over freedom.
Unless it's a class room. But
I see you see this, Cars. Man, I wish Reed were here.
wish you
so I could put Reed into the pony. When are we gonna get like the subplot where it's just like the end of Reed Evangelion? Isn't it? Well, that could be the chapter title for like one of the endings.
Reed in the
Because he really hates Evangelion. Well, I certainly can say he doesn't like it.
I don't have a picture of Cars.
I could probably find a picture of a foot-long leaky churro type of fella. You know what is actually a recent occurrence that probably should have started happening earlier?
Mhm.
People give me a mention whenever they see something Stella related now. Every time without fail. Basically. So that means I've made a name for myself.
You are definitely the Stella guy, I suppose.
Yeah, at least in the top
Although-
3.
If you were a bit more active, you could basically be the victor for Stella, as he is for Mia. So.
Yeah, I think they gave that to JJ without him really demanding it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't ask for much, just that they live well. Truly a selfish bastard I am.
Unforgivable.
Unforgivable. My sins for saying, hey, we can probably cool it on being horny all the time. Death. Listen, it only has to have, like, sometimes it's fine. That's a lot of porn in that Discord server.
Instant death.
That's a whole lot of porn in there. Who likened the 3 servers to like Dante's 3 poems?
Which 3 servers?
Wax, Humo, and here, where it's like Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradisia.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't think I can argue to be Paradisia, but they took the Inferno for themselves.
No, I fully agree with that. It's the Wax server is definitely the
9
hell.
layers of hell. I can't claim to be heaven, but
no,
I don't think the
Paradisia.
Humo server's heaven either.
No, that's why Humo would be Limbo.
Or so what does that? I guess Limbo is a separate stage of purgatory. So this is just regular ass purgatory. Then what the hell is paradise?
I would still consider this Paradisia.
Yeah. In the grand scale of the Inferno, Paradisio, and Purgatorio, we are Paradisio.
But what metrics here land us that title? Just the fact that there were no others to take?
No, the amount of sinning and degeneracy that goes on. This is by and far the cleanest.
Yeah.
Those rules are there to be respectful to the fact that Reed as an admin does not want to moderate over not safe for work content.
And that's all it needs. He is your Gabriel. He is your holy sword. And every once in a while, he'll come and try to clean up the filth in Purgatorio. Or
There's so much porn. Ugh. I can fully understand why he doesn't want to do it, because if you do not, like, if you're in a public server, which this is not strictly public, It gets way harder to moderate that stuff. In Wax's server, it's fine because it's invite only and it's a smaller group, and everybody knows. Hey, maybe I probably shouldn't like be looking for this or post this specific thing.
Yeah, you would hope.
I feel like most of them can be trusted to be adults with it. But where
It's
I'm
funny,
like inviting people in from the Snoot Cord, or just like various other servers who I drag in because hey, you seem like an interesting person. I don't know what their posting habits are.
It's funny because the Lord of Smut is in all three, so...
Oh, are you talking about Smooth Rock?
Schmoopy.
Oh, Schmoopy. Well, Schmoopy's respectful. I mean, he
yeah.
doesn't post a lot in here, but he's very respectful about it. He's like, oh, you don't want porn in here, that's fine. I got other places to post it.
Yeah. I can't think if there was what the being of lust was called. Like, Memon and Greed. Okay, can you let go of me and stop threatening me?
I think was the name of the demon.
Asmodeus.
The demon of lust.
That'd be a good name for him. Let's see. Wrath was Lucifer.
No, Lucifer was the Lightbringer.
I know Satan was... Satan's actually the adversary, but
Behemoth.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, or Leviathan. No, Leviathan. Which one was Wrath?
It might have been Beelzebub. This is actually an important theological topic that... This is actually fan fiction from Paradise Lost, isn't it?
You know, Paradise Lost is like the ultimate fan fiction. Like,
yeah, I know, and it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I love that shit so much.
99.9% of religious and non-religious people see the afterlife. And the funny thing is that Paradise Lost is just him bitching about politics.
Yeah. I mean, so is like the Dante Alighieri's Journey poems, which we talked about already. That was also him bitching about politics in Florence, and he put a pope he didn't like in hell just because he didn't like him. He put him in the lowest circle.
I was gonna say, no, he's one of the three most hated men. It was Cain, Judas, and that pope. Like, just really, those are the three most evil men. Okay.
Thrown at the bottom of the circle of betrayal, the lowest circle of hell, according to Dante.
Frozen with Lucifer.
Yeah, alright. Cool. Obviously, this is not political, Dante. Very cool. Virgil, what's your take on this?
Yeah. I don't know. I've been dead for years.
Says something along the lines of, well, I was born too early to believe in Jesus, so I got stuck down here. Which anybody who actually reads scripture.
Yeah, do you think there's a retrial once Hey,
they didn't get condemned to hell just for not believing in Jesus. If they didn't have the opportunity to know, that is not a factor. That's a non-factor for those ancient people. It's like, do you believe? Do you give?
It wasn't amnesty. It wasn't amnesty, but it wasn't forgiveness either. We'll do a retrial once we pay the blood debt.
Yeah, no, that's like saying Abraham was condemned to hell because Abraham lived hundreds and hundreds of years before Jesus.
Well, I mean, this is the same reason.
We don't know where they are.
They wouldn't even count as the ignorant. They count as the unbaptized, which all land in purgatory. Yeah.
Purgatory is not a thing.
Or limbo.
In actual Christian doctrine, I don't think purgatory is even a thing.
You know, in the Torah, hell is a field outside of Jerusalem where they would dump diseased bodies.
Yeah.
That's what hell was. And it wasn't even described anywhere near what people... It wasn't even called hell, it was called something else. I have a lot of theological studies, friends in
I think talking theology is
theology. That's the word.
very entertaining in specific contexts where we can both be respectful with each other about our beliefs. Because I'm still shooting the shit. I'm not gonna come at you and be like, "Bah, you're wrong because you don't believe in what I believe." Because I don't think that's what God would want me to do. Just be an asshole to people randomly.
Oh, I mean, I'm not religious, so it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, no, it's just
I like the stories behind it. Like, the Quran is a guy having heat stroke in the desert and hallucinations, and then just telling his wife about it later.
Yeah. I mean, the Bible is a lot of good moral stories.
Have you
I
ever
said a
heard
lot
of
of.
the? Have you ever heard of the Apocrypha?
At some point, probably.
That is the Bible too, or it is the books that were submitted to be in the Bible. That were
The New
submitted to be in
Testament
the
is the Bible too.
No, that's the Bible.
The Old Testament and the New
is the
Testament are
Torah.
different. I don't. That's not strictly correct. The Torah is not just the Old Testament.
No, because it's been rewritten. But all in all, the Old Testament is a version of the Torah. The New Testament is what you would consider the Bible, or book, that collection of books. The ones that were rejected by the, I'm not sure what the committee was that put it together, what
Vatican
king it was.
II or whatever. Vatican I, something like that.
They put the other books in retellings, and it has some of my most favorite parts in it. Like, John could fly. A lot of the mysticism and magic is in the Apocrypha.
More overt, just like, hey, we can just do random bullshit powers.
Yeah, because Jesus would give out mystical powers to people.
No. He would heal people. He did not give them the ability to just, fly and do inane bullshit.
No. Flight was specifically John. Like, I think it was only John that could fly.
I'm gonna have to say no. Yeah, they did too.
Well, I mean, that's why it was rejected for the first draft.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something, and you might disagree with it, but Christianity didn't branch off of Judaism. It didn't. It was a third thing that became both of them.
Well, yes and no. If you're talking about the original incarnation, yeah, completely separate.
Yeah,
Jesus was just raised.
Israelites.
Jesus was just raised what would be considered Jewish at the time. The problem is today, and everybody's
the Jew of today is not the same as the Jew of
2,000
years ago.
Let's say it's conflating titles because Judeo-Christian doesn't mean anything. That is two separate. They just want to be able to combine it. It's like how the definition of white, the race, has expanded more and more to include different groups. That way it stays the majority. So it's just something that changes over time. It doesn't actually have a specific meaning.
I think it's just kind of stupid to allocate people or anything based off just skin color. That's foolish, I find. But that's the system that we have, and I think it's wrong.
You say that until a purple guy walks to your door, and then you'll have a problem.
The purple guy? No, I just kill him first.
You gonna kill him because he's purple?
No, he owes me $20. No, nothing about no physical attribute makes me hate people or get aggressive with people. Physical attributes don't do that. It's all about how you treat me, which is admittedly very self-centered. But if you treat me well, chances are I'll like you pretty well, you know?
I don't think that's self-centered at all. I think that's just human nature.
No, I don't. Well, I only care about the evidence that has been given firsthand to me by the other person. I don't rely on anecdotes from other people to shape my worldview on others.
Oh, so you would have been a big fan of, what's his name? Dang it, I can't remember that famous serial killer. What's his name? Ted Bundy?
That's I think that's a reach.
Well, if
I
you
know
meet him,
I
he's a
said,
really,
but
really
it's
nice.
just like-
He's a real nice guy.
Yeah, plenty of people liked him before they found out he just straight up killed people.
Well, that's anecdotal, though.
Is it anecdotal? Objectively, there are now people missing.
Yeah, but that's first-hand stories, and we'll never hear from them because they're missing.
Kevin, you're taking this too far.
Behold,
You're stretching
a man.
what I was meaning.
Behold, a man.
No, I'm feathered.
Are you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You. Damn it, you are. Can't even make that joke.
Ha.
I'll go back to my barrel then.
Feathered biped. This is a bird. Which is not like a philosophical argument. If it's feathered and a biped, it's a bird. If it's feathered, it's a bird. I don't think there's any feathered non-bipeds. Quadrupeds.
I was about to pull out the platypus, but I think that's like the one thing that he doesn't have.
Yeah, it has a bill, a paddle, webbed feet, and fur. But really primal fur because it's one of the last remaining monotremes.
And venom.
Yes, venom, which is a very rare thing to have in mammals. Or anything mammal adjacent. I guess platypuses aren't strictly mammals; they're monotremes. That's another major group. But we're brought up that the four main kingdoms are birds, mammals, reptiles, and amphibians, and that entirely forgets fish, which I think is really funny. And the fact that like you could probably conflate reptiles and birds as being in the same kingdom or family, domain, kingdom. It's kingdom.
I mean, once you go high enough up, they all blend together.
Yeah, they all become fish and
Unless you're
eukaryota.
Fungi or bacteria. Well, eukaryote versus prokaryote.
Yeah, well, I mean, eukaryote branched off of prokaryote, which is why I say you're my cousin. We're all related really, really fucking distantly, and we've all eaten our relatives. Just very, very distant relatives.
Well, do you not have any finishing up questions? I'm about hitting my time,
Oh, you are?
unfortunately.
Do you have
Parenthood does have a time.
Yes, of course. Do you have any advice for anybody who's aspiring to be a professional artist?
Just keep drawing. Once you can draw anything that's in front of you, which just practice by visual drawing, then go out and stare at strangers and draw them in public.
I've done this.
That's literally the best advice you can get, because that is mostly what college art classes are. Not even kidding.
No, I didn't do it with a stranger. I drew my plumbing instructor in a notebook that I had, just on hand with the graphite pencil.
The last time I did live drawing of people were some prisoners I worked with.
What put you in that particular prison to draw them?
Well, no, so where I live, we have something called J1s and J2s. J1s are immigrants that we would bring over specifically for work, because we're a tourist area. Mostly Jamaica. And then J2s were prison relief workers from a work camp, so they would get time off their sentence and make more money for their own bail.
Or for whenever they get out.
It was still slavery. They made an insanely low amount. Yeah, I worked with a bunch of those guys, and I would draw them every once in a while.
Doesn't any amount qualify you as more than just a slave, but an indentured servant?
Indentured servant is the best way of putting it.
That's the way they're going to try to spin it every time. I guarantee you this. It's always, yeah, I'm an indentured servant. Or, no, you're an indentured servant, you're not my slave. And then they'll still call you boy, despite being 35.
It depends on where your productivity is going. So, if you are seeing the money, then it's indentured servant. But if it goes towards something that's not yours specifically, then you can still call that slavery. It's like, yeah, you're paying your dues, but you're not doing it optimally. Or you're not opting to do it that way.
Well, I mean, a lot of indentured servants didn't see their pay in the ancient lands of the 1700s because it was paid in advance. You said, hey, I want to get to the new continent, and some guy says, well, I need a manservant, and slavery is just impractical for my use case. It makes me look lesser than I am, so I'm going to hire a white person and give them payment in advance in form of boat fare.
Hey, baby. Please. Hey, just stand up and come here for a second.
And that predates slavery in America by white settlers.
I need you to stand up.
I'm not going to speak about the natives. That's too long a history to get into in a very short amount of time.
Other than drawing potential slaves, start with middling art supplies. If you actually do want to draw traditional and not immediately go digital, don't use the cheapest stuff you can find because it's going to make you hate it.
I use a number 2 pencil to draw.
What brand?
Whatever the fuck I find on the job site, on the ground. Or it's just like whatever it's like the school brand pencils. You know the kind they give out when you do like your SAT or whatever? Same brand.
Yeah, there's like Bic and I think
like Millhouse or whatever, or Wilhausen.
I think it's like Saratoga.
Yeah, those. And like they're very good for writing. I don't know that they're great for drawing, but they work.
Yep. Which number 2 literally means it's a B2 pencil.
Yeah, so. It's a double. Like it's the second stage into dark, isn't it?
Yeah, B means black, H means hard.
Yeah, or an HB pencil is another thing I'll use.
HB just means it's equal, neutral. Hard, and black. So it's not leaning any one way.
Yeah.
But anything you want to ask, Sierra?
I guess, have we touched a little bit on your writing endeavors?
I have 3 chapters out. I'm currently writing a 4th. It's on, not even a hiatus. I just haven't been able to get to it with all the other work I've been doing. But I want to try to write some this week. See if I can get the 4th chapter out.
Yeah, I need to actually go in and read that. I need to also work on mine, as always. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I never do.
And I'm only doing it as a fun little exercise. I'm not a writer by any means.
Yeah, writing's not difficult to start. The easiest way to go about it is to pick up a pen, and it doesn't have a minimum budget like art supplies do. You can use, theoretically, just a burnt piece of wood.
Yeah, like, folks, take it from me if Smug was ever written for it. It's easy, right? All it really needs is just Google Doc.
Yeah, no, just grab your
iPhone,
PC, your iPad, whatever's handy, whatever medium, or like a pad and a pencil, and then a loose state of mind, and then start writing. That's how I write anything. That's how I wrote my sections for Columbo so far, is I loosened my mind a little bit just to let it flow.
So you're saying you're just a kid with a pad and a pen and a big imagination?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a boy. I'm just a boy.
Well, y'all can find my work at it's on AO3 now. Just Kev K3v. That's the tag I managed to get.
Yeah.
K3v.
How long did they have you wait for your account?
2.5 weeks.
I got mine in about 6 days. I don't know how I got it so fast.
Took me 2.5 too.
I don't know, but you better use that gift. Post often.
Listen, my most kudos thing on my account is a just conglomeration called Things My Friends Wrote. And it's whenever like somebody doesn't feel like publishing something they wrote for me. Like if somebody writes something that makes me smile or whatever, they're like, "Hey, this is for you, big man." I'm like, "Well, you gonna publish it for the rest of the world to see?" And they're just like, "Nah, you can do it though." Shit, I guess. I guess I can.
Well, I do wish I had more time to.
I would
sit and
love to have
shoot
more
it.
time with you. Unfortunately, our sleep schedules do not align.
They really
often.
don't.
I have this. I'm like an old man.
Well, you can keep my dwarf and talk to him anytime you need.
My emotional support tulpa of Kevin, yes.
Be careful. If he grows a goatee on top of his beard, we're in trouble.
What was it, like an evil little altar?
Haha. Echo reference. Wait, no. If he loses his facial hair, then you're in trouble. That's what it is.
Echo, the furry game that I had only a passing glance at that Jam was playing when I was on a roof in late summer.
Oh, rough.
Yeah. Last time like I caught any of that, I was just like in the call, and I was on a roof working on like HVAC, like the condenser units for an HVAC system.
Yeah, I hear that profession got hit real hard with the price increases.
You know,
So,
it's recovering very fast.
well, it's getting
We're
hotter.
about to have too much work for my company to handle.
Well, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
Which, I mean, a lot
But
of our jobs required American-made anyway, so the prices were the price.
before the toddler destroys everything I own, I will be dipping. You'll have a good one.
Yep.
Alright. Good night, Ken.
Heather, you learned a lot about tax evasion.
That's the only thing I learned. I guess had fun.
Keep the mythos alive.
Peace.
I should probably throw her on here.
God, I love Kevin.
Well,
He's such a mystical creature. But I should probably
He is.
turn to the camera and say, goodbye, space cowboy.
bye-bye.
Where's my end scene? I need to add like a musical lead up.
Yeah. Yeah.